All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, the Hamashiach, who some call Yeshua, Yehoshua, Yahawashai. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. Rehearsing the righteous acts, refuting one was Israelism. It's another verse that um, we kind of batter a little bit, but not so bad with this one. All right. This one here, this ain't that bad. We don't tear this up that bad, but there's room for improvement on it. All right, there's room for improvement on it. That's what we're here to do. Judges chapter 5, verse 1. It says, Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, on that day, saying, y'all help me with that, saying, Praise ye the Lord for the avenging of Israel, when people willingly offered themselves. Hear, O ye kings, give ear, O ye princes. And I want y'all to hold on to that. When the people were willingly offered themselves. There's a lesson. There's a lesson in that when the people willingly offered themselves. How many of us are offering ourselves for the work of the Lord? How many of us raising our hands saying, pick me? Or how many of us are sitting in the back? How many of us wanna have the easiest jobs? How many of us wanna be there but don't wanna be in it? Like you're just participating. You ain't really going full fledged. You ain't really, you ain't in the mix. And then when you're facing adversity, when we need those to stand on the front lines, how many of us are just sitting back? How many of us are willingly offering ourselves for the work of the Lord? It's a lesson in that. Y'all put together some other verses, some correlating verses. Being willing. Who will rise up for me against evildoers? All right. Who will willingly offer themselves? These folks had to go to war. They had to go to war. And it's jokers who had to sign up. It's folks fighting wars right now, man. Even with the thing that's going over there in the Middle East and Ukraine, the thing that was going on with Ukraine and Russia, folks had to willingly offer themselves. They did that for their country. How many will do it for the Lord? How many will do it for the kingdom of heaven? Hear, O ye kings, give ear, O ye princes. Even I, will sing unto the Lord. I will sing praise to the Lord God of Israel. Lord, when thou wentest out of Seir, when thou marchest out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled, and the heavens dropped, and the clouds also dropped water. The mountains melted before the Lord. And again, this is hyperbolic language, hyperbole, exaggerated speech. This is poetry. This is song. He's singing praises to the Lord. He said the mountains melted before the Lord, even that Sinai from before the Lord God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were unoccupied, and the travelers walked through the byways. The inhabitants of the villages ceased. They ceased in Israel. All right, everybody's in hiding. All right, everybody's ducking and dodging. Okay, all these folks been taken over. Some of these lands been overridden. Certain people don't want to go in certain areas. Just like you have today, man. You got certain places, that man, don't go on them. Man, don't buy no house over there. Don't move over there. It's overridden with wickedness. It says the inhabitants of the villages ceased. They ceased in Israel until that Deborah, arose. That arose, a mother in Israel. Y'all can't listen. Y'all be trying to step on these women's roles within Israel, but Deborah, man, she knew her place, and she just gave it to Barak. She knew what she couldn't do. Really, anyway, I don't want to, we'll talk about that another time, but you gonna have to put some respect on these sisters now. All right, especially those that's mentioned in the text, because we're rehearsing our righteous acts. All right, she was written in the text forever. Rahab is in here forever. Sarah in here forever. The woman that poured the oil on his feet and washed his toe, she in here forever. Say wherever this word is preached, they gonna talk about that sister. How many are willing to offer themselves? That sister offered that expensive oil to make ready her Messiah for the cross. My heart, verse 8, they chose new gods, then was war in the gates. Was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel? Again, hyperbolic language. She being sarcastic here. You know, was there a shield or spear, or the writer rather, is being sarcastic here. Was a shield or spear seen among 40,000, man? You know, basically saying, man, these jokers weren't ready to go to no war. They weren't equipped for battle. All right, but they were willing to do it anyway. My heart is toward the governors of Israel. All right, some of the leadership that offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye the Lord. And that's what I'm saying. As a leader, you gotta be front lines. You gotta be willing to offer yourself, and then they follow. But you can't just be sending them on them dry runs and you ain't going. You know, you just always sitting back. Well, what's the report? Yeah. What's the report? You know, and it's good about, remember, go back to that when people willingly offer themselves. Well, no, that probably wasn't it. I was finna say Joshua and Caleb and them going into the, end up making it into the promised land, but it's a little reachy. It's a little reachy. But anyway, let's continue on. Where we was at. My heart is toward the governors of Israel. They offer themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye the Lord. Speak ye that ride on the white asses, on the donkeys. Ye that sit in judgment and walk by the way. And see, jokers is, that's how you know jokers is just, jokers are, well, it's in the Bible. And again, this is about translation. This is also dealing with translations. It don't mean what it meant 500-600 years ago. You're not using it in that manner. Ye that sit in the judgment and walk by the way. Verse 11. It says, they that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the places of drawn water. This is what we want. This is where we at. This is where our verse is. Verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the places of the drawn water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. All right, and these are places, the gates, the places of drawn water. These are places, these are the chief concord places where people are going to be. A lot of people are going to be at the watering well. A lot of people are going to be kicking a bobo in front of the gate. And they're going to be rehearsing the acts, meaning talking about these things that the Most High have done, talking about what the people had done in there. They're going to be talking about, they're going to be gossiping and telling stories about these things. All right. And these are how these stories get passed down. This is how these oral traditions end up happening, especially within song. This is why Moses, this is why the Lord told him to make certain songs, and I was saying a new song. Some of these things can be passed down through these songs. All right, but this isn't a rehearsing the righteous acts as you're keeping the feast day and you're rehearsing it and you're just doing you're just practicing. No. That's not the rehearsing that they're doing. When they're talking about rehearsing, it means they talking about it. They speaking on it. Man, you remember how the Lord brought us out of Egypt? Man, you remember how Deborah did it? Man, you remember how Samson, got that darn jawbone and went crazy? Man, you remember how that woman put that oil on it and cried and washed his feet with tears, man? Remember how he rose up Lazarus? They rehearsing the righteous acts, meaning they're speaking on these things at the watering wells, at the watering holes, at the meeting spots. Something else that's interesting here is that in translation, you can do comparative text on this. You see how that they, this part right here, they are delivered. You know why is it in italic? It's in italic. It's in italic. It might be a little darker, or am I tripping? But it's in italic. Why are these words in italic? Let's go there. See this? They are delivered. You see the Strong's number? There isn't one. Why isn't there a Strong number, Brother Phineas? Well, because it's not in the Bible. This is added for clarity. If you looked at other if you looked in some other versions, or you looked into the, like, even for here, that this part here, either it's not there, or they don't know whatever that Hebrew was. They couldn't translate it. All right, and you got the Masoretic text on the top, and then you got the Septuagint at the bottom here, but they couldn't translate it. All right. So that's what you see when you see the italics there. You see it here with the inhabitants also. See, the inhabitants of the village, they don't know what was there. They got to fill it in. Some of these spots they have to fill in, and we'll talk about it. They were delivered toward the inhabitants. Let's see if the toward the inhabitants is there. Even. See, toward the inhabitants, they don't have it there. All right, so it's a little tricky out the gate anyway, as it even being translated, but also, just the rehearse part. We kind of get tripped up on, because of we're trying to bring it into the modern understanding of what rehearse means. But they just gonna speak on these things. They're gonna speak on the righteous acts of the Lord, the righteous acts of the people. All right, all those people that were willing. All right, all those people that were willing to serve the Lord, and to go to war with Barak and Deborah. I pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. If you have any contention about what it said, or you feel any different way about it, maybe contention is not the word. But if you feel I might have misquoted anything, feel free to hit the comments, man, and let us know. I pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. Shalom.